Most of the time, rockstar battles take place between rival acts or bandmates with relationships who suddenly turn sour. But in this case, we're talking about two men who held the same job in the same band at two different times, David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar. This is Rock Feuds, UCR's look at various clashes from throughout the history of music. Be sure to subscribe to the UCR channel and go ahead and hit the notifications button so you'll receive all of our latest videos. Now, as most rock fans know, David Lee Roth was Van Halen's original singer, fronting the group as they rose out of the Los Angeles music scene to become one of the biggest bands on earth. The classic Roth era spanned the group's first 6 albums: Van Halen, Van Halen 2, Women and Children First, Fair Warning, Diver Down, and 1984. Despite their monumental success together, which included selling more than 35 million albums in the US alone, tensions between Roth and the rest of the band were strained. The singer was interested in pursuing a solo career and even getting into acting, neither of which sat well with his bandmates. Roth split from the group in 1985, leaving Van Halen momentarily without a lead singer. Enter Sammy Hagar. The former Montrose vocalist became Van Halen's frontman in September of '85 and injected a new type of energy into the band. He'd sing on the group's next 4 albums, 5150, OU812, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, and Balance, all of which hit number 1 on the Billboard chart. Thus, the infamous 2 eras of Van Halen were forged, the Roth era and the Van Hagar era. Fans will forever argue over which time period was better, but it's the rivalry between the two frontmen that we're focusing on for this rock feud. See, over the years, each singer has had some pointed words regarding the other. They've also had some moments of civility, most notably a co-headlining tour in 2002. Interestingly, Hagar has admitted he started trash-talking about Roth prior to ever joining Van Halen.
In the old days, before I was in Van Halen, I ripped him through the fucking coals when I do the press, before I ever was in that band. And then when I joined the band, I tried to be nice. And then when I left the band, I tried to be nice about him. And then we did our tour together. And then I fucking said, fuck this guy again, right? He's an asshole. You can't get along with him. He's no fun. He's full of shit.
Hagar has also accused Roth of being phony.
Wow, he's a strange person. He's a strange character. He's not what he's saying he is. He's pretending. He's totally bullshit. Everything he does is thought up, and it's an image. It's nothing to do with who he is. He is not exposing who and what he is. And I know this for a fact. But when I see him, I knew that the first time I saw him, I said, oh, this guy, he's putting on an image, putting on a show. You know, he goes back home and goes in his house and whole different guy. It has nothing to do with that guy. He's not honest about his image and his performance. That's what I see when I see him. That's how I feel.
Sammy has also suggested that Diamond Dave may be jealous of the success that Hagar had outside of Van Halen.
Yeah, I don't know what he's got going with me, but I think he always feels competitive. I think he's kind of, you know, he feels like he has to do, you know, raise his flag like I'm Van Halen, to where, because I had a solo career before Van Halen. So, you know, I was in Montrose before Van Halen. I was, you know, I've had Chickenfoot. So, you know, Dave has got Van Halen, you know, so it's like, I think he has to hold on to that kind of tight.
Now, Hagar hasn't just called out Roth for his persona and possible jealousy, he's also criticized him as a singer, claiming that his voice hasn't aged well and insinuating that Roth doesn't have the chops to sing any Van Hagar era songs. This takes us to the other side of the coin. Roth claims he's never performed Van Hagar songs because he believes they're simply not as popular as what he recorded with Van Halen. He even took a dig at Hagar at the 2015 Billboard Music Awards when asked about performing Van Hagar tunes.
You're not doing any Hagar stuff. You would never do that, would you?
Well, there's a credibility issue there. Good, bad, or in the middle, you know Roth means it. The other guy doesn't. And that's why it sold half as well. Literally, Midas, Bible, half. Never did better than half. And why would you bring that into the proceedings? This hamburger don't need no helper. Ain't no rehearsing pants in my closet.
In an earlier interview, Roth spoke far less cryptically. In 1997, he told Howard Stern, quote, "Sammy does his job, he does it well. Sammy's a singer, but it's the difference between a single word. Sammy is a singer. David Lee is the singer." Roth has also found other unique ways to skewer his rival. Case in point, in 2020 he posted an original piece of artwork on social media, made to look like a newspaper. Its headlines included, "Red Rocker refuses to fly 55 in afterlife," "Concrete flowers for Sam," and "Sam the man not only will be giving his life for rock and roll, but plans to be buried in his recently acquired jet." The artwork was titled "The Daily Catastrophe," and in a funny twist, Hagar praised the piece and actually said he wanted to buy it. That last piece of information highlights one other important element in the Roth versus Hagar feud. Even with a war of words that has lasted for decades now, both men seem to have maintained at least a little tiny bit of humor about it all. Perhaps it's that sliver of civility that allowed both men to reportedly agree to the proposed kitchen sink tour, which would have seen all of Van Halen's former members reunited for an unprecedented trek. Sadly, that would never come to fruition due to the death of Eddie Van Halen, but the fact that Roth and Hagar were even willing to be in the same lineup is noteworthy. Whose side do you take in this rock feud? Which Van Halen frontman do you prefer? Let us hear about it in the comments. To see more of our videos, including other rock feuds, be sure to subscribe to the UCR YouTube channel. And as always, the best way to keep up with everything going on with the biggest names in rock is to head over to our website, ultimateclassicrock.com.